All right, welcome back to another video. Today we're actually going to try out testing 12.6.4 FSD in our current Model Y, as well as in a loaner Model Y, to see if they actually behave the same on this software update that we've been having so much trouble with in our AI3. Why isn't AI3 bad in other ones? I'm not sure. Maybe it is. We'll find out. I did drive it back from the test service center. Didn't have any problems with it, but we're going to take it on the same drive so I can see if there is any differences. All right, so first off, this is the loaner vehicle. It is a hardware 3 or AI3 or FSD computer 3 vehicle. It does have the Intel Atom processor. We'll go ahead and check the other car and see how that compares. I suspect something might be different between these, but we'll check that. Right, so here we are in our car, and it is actually the infotainment processor is an AMD Ryzen versus the Intel Atom over there. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know why that would have anything to do with it. I would have thought it would have everything just to do with the AI3 computer, but again, let's take them out, see how they do on the same drive. All right, so again, very similar vehicles actually. I'm actually not sure what year this Model Y is, but this is the loaner from the service center, and it does have the same wheels. It has the induction wheels. It also has AI3, and we're on the same software update. So all of the software is the same. The one thing we did see was that this actually has an Intel Atom processor for the infotainment center, whereas the other vehicle has an AMD Ryzen. I don't know why that would have anything to do with it, but so far, even in the neighborhood, I definitely so far have been happy with how it's performing. It's not as good as version 13, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Nice and smooth. Waited for that car to pass and took a good gap here, so no problems so far. We did fairly quickly get up to 45 miles per hour, and we seem to be pretty well centered in the lane. Yeah, nice and centered in the lane, so that's good. All right, so nice and smooth. Everything good so far. Right now, it's not allowing it to use the eye tracking. I'm wearing sunglasses, but it should be able to use that. Okay, this guy. I felt I don't know if it was going to go around that guy or not. I did not feel comfortable getting that close to him when he seemed like he was just getting started on his bike and kind of veered off to the left. Oh, it says I have a device in my hand. I don't have a device in my hand, but I guess that's why it's not allowing the eye tracking. Anyway, that guy on the bicycle, definitely I wanted to give him more room because I was not trusting what he was doing. The car did not seem like it was going to give him space, and we had all of this room here with the center lane that we could get out of the way. So definitely I would prefer to get out of the way, give him at least more room than it did. Again, it has been centering, which is good, and it's going the right speed, so that's good. But yeah, that was a disengagement. Obviously, we're probably not going to come across the same situation with the bicycle with the other vehicle, so it won't be exactly the same, but at least we can just do the same route. Mainly comparing, like I said, the lane centering has been a problem, and the speed control has been a serious problem with our car. So far in this vehicle, it's doing nicely on the speed control. I mean, this is really nice 42, 43 and a 35. That's pretty good speed. You gotta be careful coming down this hill. You don't want to get going too fast, but yeah, 42 is a good speed for this road. People like to go 45 to 50. Obviously that's a little too fast for this road, but we definitely would not. I would not feel uncomfortable with someone behind me as long as I'm keeping, between 35 and 42 on this road. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, and we are just going to this Publix up here. And in the past, it's often tried to turn into this first turn and kind of fake out and then move on. Now that I think we were navigating to Papa John's, but it's in the same shopping center, so we'll see if it actually turns here. There's no reason why it shouldn't, but yeah. So it was a little bit. It kind of hesitated a little bit. It was a little bit weird about it, but no big deal. Nice and slow in the parking lot. I'm not sure what it's going to do here as far as... Okay, it looks like it's going to go down this lane, which is good. This is good. We're waiting for this person to come out. We'll see if we just take their spot. That'd be good. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. And it's not going to put it in park, I think. This version won't put it in park. So not a perfect job of aligning us in this space. So I'm going to actually correct this a little bit. But it did actually attempt to park, and it did, not an unreasonable job. So pretty good. On the first attempt, I didn't have any problems. The only thing I did have a problem with was its interaction with that cyclist. I definitely think it should have given them more space. But other than that, we were lane centering. We had good speed control. So that's the first leg of this trip, and we'll do one more to get some more neighborhood driving in this one, and then we'll check it out in the other car. Cannot start from park on 12.6.4. So we got to get out here to get it going. There we go. So see how this goes. All right, we're gonna go this way out. That should be fine. Not usually my... Oh, okay. All right, that was weird. Kind of acted like it was going to turn left there, and now it's gonna turn left up here. This is what the navigation said, but the other way definitely would have been more natural. But that's okay. All right, and there's a fire truck, so we'll have to wait for that. All right. All right, now there's a car. Should be clear now. Oh. All right, it's not. All right, I didn't press the accelerator, but it definitely hesitated a lot there. It's hard to see around those bushes there, and it's kind of on a curve, so definitely I would prefer it to be safer rather than not safe. But the jitteriness of that did not give a lot of confidence to the fact that it could see well. But nevertheless, it did go, not as quickly as I would have asked for it to, but it did go, and it was clear, so not terrible. Still doesn't have the attention monitoring. I think it's because it's probably because I'm videoing, because I have this phone up here and it's kind of close to my face. Maybe that's why it's not letting me do the attention monitoring. So I do have to apply pressure to the wheel every so often. All right, so see, even in the car, even in the neighborhood without the lines, this car seems to be staying more towards the right side of the lane, which is what I would prefer, obviously. I definitely don't like to be out in the middle of the lane, especially if there's going to be some other car oncoming, potentially at any point. So this is definitely more comfortable for that. Yeah, so it says device detected in hand, attention monitoring unavailable. Yeah, definitely because of this phone that I'm taking the video with. But all right, so we've got some cars in here to weave around, so that's a decent test. It's going comfortable speed over these speed bumps. Oh, I said that in this one. Okay, it did slow down before. It was kind of approaching it pretty quickly, but it did slow down before we actually hit the speed bump. So for a second there, I didn't think it was going to. All right, so even in the neighborhood, pretty uneventful. So that's definitely what I like to see. It's just pretty smooth. Nothing, no inputs needed. No accelerator. Don't have to disengage. So with the loaner vehicle, I'm pretty pleased with its performance. We just got a couple more stop signs here, and that'll be it. Yeah, that was definitely a long stop at the stop sign. But it does have to come to the full, complete stop, even though no one else does that, especially in the neighborhood. Everybody's rolling the stop signs. Usually much more. Some people just don't even stop at all. They don't slow down. They just kind of roll around 15 miles per hour or something through the stop sign. So obviously I don't want to do that, but coming to a complete zero stop when there's any other cars around becomes awkward. All right, so that's it. We're just about at the destination. I'm not going to actually let it stop here. So that's it for this car. Very happy with the performance. The only thing that we had a problem with was that cyclist that I needed to disengage it to get more comfortably around it. Other than that, speed control, lane centering, very nice. And this loaner AI3 hardware 3 Model Y on 12.6.4. So now we will try it out in the other car. All right, here we are in our car. Again, same hardware, same software update, same wheels. Only thing different is the infotainment computer, as far as I'm aware of. Attention monitoring unavailable. Again, I think that's because of the phone that we're taking the video with. Now, we're definitely far on the left. That's okay getting around that guy with the dog. But now we should be over to the right, I would imagine. And here we are, right off the bat, in our car. This is what I'm talking about. We're in the middle of the road. Another car's coming. Oh, maybe we should get to the right. We're only going 17 and a 25. 12. I think we're coming to a stop now. 8. We went down to 8 miles per hour for nothing. And still far to the left. All right, so right off the bat, I can tell this is not going to be a good drive. And, you know, I've already had plenty of videos about the drives I've had in our car with this software update. So we probably don't need to get too detailed on it. So probably skip ahead on some of this and just give the highlights. But that was already quite a telling moment there. So here we are. Get onto the road. Need to go up to 45. And doesn't look like we're going to get up to 40. And we're definitely towards the left of the lane. And now there's a car coming up behind us who's should have honked. He should have honked at us. We're down to 30. Ugh. I mean, this is it's unsafe. It's almost to the point where it's just unsafe because we're a hazard. We're a hazard in the road. That guy flashed his lights. I'm pushing the accelerator because I don't want to do something really awkward and make it unsafe for them. But they really should have just gone because they had the right of way technically. All right. So I pressed the accelerator and that's what got us up to 46. So it's not a good impression of the speed control at this point. However, we do have a very good example of not centering in the lane. We are hugging the left like maniacs. I mean, I shouldn't say like maniacs, okay? The truck, the guy in front of us, he also was on the line a lot. But, I mean, computer driver should be able to center perfectly all the time. Typically, that is what FSD would do, especially does in 13. Obviously it's going to go side to side around curves or whatever, but this is just ridiculous. And that guy that let us go in front of him is probably regretting it. I pressed the accelerator again just to make sure we didn't go too slow, but I mean, he's probably watching us not staying centered in the lane and thinking, what's going on? We're really hugging the left side for some unknown reason. All right, I'm going to let it, nobody behind us, so I'm going to let it take its time here, but we could totally go right now, no problem. Now we got a green light, so we definitely could go. All right, so we went, but we could have gone when it was red after we stopped, and there was no cars turning left, so we would have been fine. So in the other car, we were going about 42, which was comfortable on this road. Here, we're staying at a comfortable speed, 38, 39. That's not bad. It's not bad. So speed control was only a problem on the 45 so far. And of course, as soon as I say that, we are like definitely losing speed going up the hill here. As long as we stay close to the speed limit around these curves and stuff, I'm okay with that. All right, so the other car did actually take this first turn into Publix, and it did actually attempt to park in a space. Now, I've seen this car attempt to park in a space. Usually does a poor job parking in space. Okay, that was interesting. No reason not to get over into the right lane, and it kind of started going, and then it went back. Slowing significantly before we approach this turn. Will we turn here? Yes. We did the little wiggle thing. Like it thought it was going to turn and then it was going to stop turning, but it did ultimately turn. The other car kind of did that too. But it definitely did not slow down as much approaching the turn. So last time we turned down that lane, looks like we're not going to do that. Not necessarily a bad thing, but let's see what we're planning on doing here. We have this guy's crossing. Are we going to turn down this lane? Yes. We're going to turn this down this lane. And looks like it's looking for a space. And we're going to... All right, I got to stop it because we're in this guy's way now. All right, so I don't know if it was going to end up trying to park in this space or not, but we were in the way. Car behind us and the car trying to pull out that was waiting for us. Technically, we weren't supposed to park in this space anyway because it was reserved for pickup. But anyway, so yeah, pretty bad all around. Let's get our navigation set up for the trip back to get some neighborhood driving, which will, I'm sure, not be fun. But we'll see what it does. Hopefully it does turn right here. Yes, okay, that's a better way to go. Now we need to turn left. We should not stop. There's nothing to stop for. Nothing around us, nobody around us, no problems. It stopped for no reason. And now we're going 7. All right, we're in the way. Made it difficult for them. I'm going to go ahead and get us out on the street again. Definitely needed to disengage there. It was not safe to be in the middle of that exit when somebody's trying to quickly get off of the road and turn left into there. They wouldn't expect somebody to be driving in the middle of that. So definitely needed to get out of their way. All right, now we're in a 40, going 36, 35, 33. Okay, I'm pressing the accelerator because there's somebody behind us. There's green light, so there's nothing to stop for, no reason to slow down. So that was uncomfortable. Oh boy! Unfortunately, this minivan is still behind us through the neighborhood, so it's not going to be good. Very slow over the speed bump. Speed bump was not uncomfortable, but I'm sure that the minivan would appreciate us going a little bit quicker. Also, we should not be so far to the left. We're pretty much in the middle of this road, which is two-way. I know there's no lane lines, but the other car on the same software had no problem. All right, we do have a car approaching up this hill, and we're uncomfortably far to the left. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, I would have disengaged a long time ago. I just can't even stand using this in the neighborhood anymore. In fact, I don't feel like it's like we're just not driving right. So I just disengaged. That's it. I'm calling it. Everything about it was irritating. The speed control is wrong. Staying too far to the left all the time. Being hesitant to get out onto the street. That time it even stopped in the parking lot for no reason at all. There was nobody around, nothing, no reason to stop, and it just stopped in the middle of the street. That's not great. So it's very strange to me that our car, as far as I can tell, the only difference in our car is the infotainment computer being an AMD Ryzen versus the other car being an Intel Atom. I might reach out to Tesla now that I have a direct comparison of a car with the same software that is clearly working properly. I would actually enjoy driving on FSD on the loaner vehicle because it actually acts close to a version 13, which is great on our hardware 4 car. But I just can't really deal with it in our hardware 3 car. It just doesn't seem to act properly. All right, so that's it. Very direct comparison to the two cars that should be exactly the same software, same hardware. They should act exactly the same, but for some reason, our vehicle, unfortunately, the one that we actually own, behaves very terribly on 12.6.4, whereas the loaner does just fine. I mean, I actually would enjoy driving it on FSD all the time on a loaner vehicle, at least judged by the couple drives that I've had in it so far. So that's pretty unfortunate that it's our vehicle that has this problem. But we do have the other Model Y that's hardware 4, and I mean, obviously that's why we're gonna prefer to drive that one around all the time. And in fact, when I have this loaner, I'm gonna be driving the loaner all the time rather than our car because it's just more enjoyable to drive. Now I get it. I could just manually drive, and manually driving, sure, our car is great. It also smells better. I don't know. The loaner smells like weird, and it's obviously not very clean, and that sort of stuff. People don't take care of the loaner cars, so obviously that's gonna be the thing. And you know, nothing's like your own car, but yeah, if I want to have the car drive me around an FSD, which is actually very nice and enjoyable, definitely use the loaner car. So that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.